Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello guys, today in this video I would like to tell you a story that included our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. In this story, our Prophet is doing a war, and this war is named Hunain War. So this war was started when Malik bin Auf al-Nasri heard that Makkah has been conquered by Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So he gathering everyone with their treasure and also their wife and families. Then in some place, Duraid bin Sahim al-Jishami asked, "This is the best place for horses, but why do I heard the moaning of camels, the neighing of donkeys, and the cry of children, and the bellowing of sheep?" So he called Malik and asked again about it. And Malik answered, "I want behind everyone there is a family, wealth, so they fight for their property and also their family." After that, two of them get into an argument and ended by Malik, who took the lead. After that, Malik started to spread spies as well as Russells. The spies from Hunain troops are scared when they saw the army of Rasul. Before they leave our Prophet troops, someone give information that Safwan bin Umayyah has a lot of armor and also weapons. So Rasul comes to him and borrow his armor with also the weapon. So he gave 100 pieces of armor with also the weapons. And then Rasul and his army is going to the Hunain valley. When they arrived, suddenly they got attacked by the army of Quraysh. In that time, Muslim army is running around. Everything is messed up. Everything. A lot of people dies. And that's what they get for underestimating the Quraysh army. Just because they had a lot more soldiers than the Quraysh had. That is not good. Back then, when Ibn Ishaq is walking with the Quraysh people, they were heading to Hawazin. There is something in his mind that says to kill Muhammad at that time, so that he can become a meritorious person who avenge the Quraysh people. When the war is happening, he saw Rasul is getting off from his horse, and he want to do it. He want to kill our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But our Prophet already know it, and he just rub his chest and says, "Oh Allah, protect him from the devil." And then he told him to return to the war on the front line. Since then, Ibn Ishaq is loving Muhammad more than himself. Then he do what the Prophet said, till they escape and return to the campsite. In the other stories, Abbas tells, "I always by Muhammad's side. When the Muslim army is running around, Rasul is calling them back to the war. But no one's come back to the war. So he, our Prophet, asked me, Abbas, to call the companions who took allegiance in Hudaybiyah. So I called them, like, hey, come back to the war. Our Prophet is calling." When they had gathered around 100 people, we will continue the war. And after that, the war was won by the Muslims. After the war, some of Quraysh fled to Taif. So Prophet Muhammad ordered his troops to chase the fleeing Quraysh. In short, the Muslim troops succeeded in defeating the Quraysh troops, and the Muslim also got 600 captive while ghanima in the form of 24,000 camels, 4,000 sheep, and 14,000 sheep and 4,000 ukiah silver. After waiting for a dozen days to wait for the Hawazin people that want to ask their captive families, Prophet Muhammad began to distribute captive and ghanima. After distributing the ghanima and the captive, he heard someone complaining about his inability to receive the ghanima. Prophet Muhammad advised them, and they accepted Prophet Muhammad's advice, and they were pleased that their share was their entry to Islam. Then there was a woman. After that, there was a woman who was like the Prophet's milk, who met her, and she asked Prophet Muhammad to be given a rotation to return to her people. So she was given 3 male slaves, 1 female slave, a camel, and a goat. Also, there were 14 messengers of Hawazin came to beg for the return of their children and wives. They were also given to choose of property or their wife and children. They also choose their wife and children, but on the condition that they have to wait until Prophet Muhammad finished the Zuhur prayer, and while shouting the sentences that was ordered by Prophet Muhammad. And they did so. After that, their wife and their children were returned. So, the conclusion of this Fatu Makkah is Allah wants the Muslim to remain humble and not be arrogant. With the defeat at the beginning, even though they have tried their best, because the one who gives victory is only Allah. And when their hearts have realized that Allah will bring news of certain and news of victory, and our Prophet Muhammad is protected by Allah, and there is nothing can hurt so Prophet except with Allah's permission. And one more lesson that we can get from this story is never judge what our prophets tell us to do, because it's always great and it's always good. So never ever comment about it, never ever complaining about it. Maybe that's all I can tell about the story of Hunain War. I hope this video could be useful for you, and you can keep what is good, but you have to leave anything that bad, because the truth comes only from Allah, and me as a human has a lot of mistakes. At last I say, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.